Rise and shine, Chippy. It's time for the Intel Morning Show. Okay, repeat after me. Please welcome, Alex, the tech evangelist for Intel. Alex, the blah, 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 blah for Intel. Robeytech, and the overlord and the glue that holds this entire program together. Me? I was thinking Sarah. Oh. Broadcasting live and worldwide on Twitch and Discord. This is the Intel Morning Show.
Good or you know what? It's not. I just, honestly, the fact that the show says good morning always makes me think good morning, but it's morning somewhere, right? Like Hawaii, right? Like
Hawaii. We already said it. We are broadcasting live from Hawaii.
Yeah, the Intel Morning Show in Hawaii or something like that. Maybe that's what we actually need to do, guys. But hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Intel Show. Today is December. November 17th, 2023, and I am live with Alex and Sarah and, of course, you guys. Now, the first thing I do want to just address right off the bat, before we even jump in anything, guys, I'm using the Soundstripe playlist. I don't know why they have Halloween music. I'm sorry if it offends you, but it is. I like that playlist, and they seem to have like one Halloween song in there. So when it comes back in, we will fast forward through it so that way we do not anger people. Does that feel like a good policy, Sarah and Alex?
I like it. It's better than the weather outside is right.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I'm about to start playing Christmas music. You know what?
That.
I'm just going to start playing Christmas music. You know what? I'm just going to do it. So, but yes, did you get your count? I did not order the analog pocket. A lot of people are talking to me about that. That was one.
You wanted as a.
Go ahead.
You wanted as a. Is that the one that you were hinting last week? I couldn't get the hint. Or no,
Alex. Oh my gosh.
Mildly.
Just
mild hint.
Yes, mildly I did. It was really funny because I actually had a couple people reach out to me and be like, "Hey, I have one. If you want to pick one up." I'm like, I'm looking to see if a certain friend of mine who's just a very nice person, who's also a co-host on the show, might end up picking one up for me. But one thing I did succeed in, guys, can I get a celebration? I did get my Steam Deck Collector's Edition OLED PC yesterday, so I'm very excited about that. It took 45 minutes, and it was a pain in the butt to, dude.
Was it?
You think that's...
Like it...
Oh, man, so many people. I mean, that thing was sold out so fast, and it was just a massive issue doing that. I'm just saying, like, I don't know, Sarah, Alex, have you guys ever been on a game, like, at launch, whether that's WoW or any of those ones? Have you guys done this? Have you experienced the joy/horror of launch day at all? Alex, first, let's start with you.
Yeah, definitely. Especially the launch day, or more like when things go on sale and want to buy one. For example, San Diego Comic-Con tickets.
Yeah, there you go. Great example. Yes. Sarah, what about you? Have you had the joy of launch day?
Oh yeah, I was all over Tears of the Kingdom, and that's where
So point being is
the custom switch, the whole thing.
Yeah, it never goes smoothly, right? It doesn't matter. Like, you'd think that these companies that literally sell. So I mean, I understand, like, they just get a spike, so like adding a bunch of servers and stuff like that. But man, it's just, I'm telling you, sometimes that's just a painful experience. So anyway, I'm beating a dead horse here. Regardless, I was successful. There may have been some very angry moments in there, some slamming of fists. Some sheer, some outbursts. But the other thing too is it was a successful endeavor. Some finger pointing, some stern remarks. But in the end, I was able to successfully get one. So just thank you for reminding me that of thinking about the analog pocket. I'm hoping I have the same thing at Christmas when we do the Intel Morning Show Christmas gift exchange. That a certain someone ends up getting me an analog pocket. But I'm not holding out my hope. You know what I'm saying? Not holding out hope. Okay. Anyway, that is that's my rant, my moment. I just went off script. Sarah's like, if Sarah could, I think she'd have one of those hooks, those old school hooks that you could just like pull me off the stage. You just all of a sudden see me going like, I just disappear or whatever it was. But guys, I will say the one thing that I am very excited about this episode specifically is we have so many things happening in the community right now. In fact, we have a whole section of the show just dedicated to Sarah telling us all of the awesome that is happening now with the Intel Morning Show community and the Intel Discord. Sarah, what do we got going on? Because there's a lot.
There is a lot. So a couple of things are coming to an end. So if you have Game Awards, if you have not put in your bracket choices, and I'm telling you there's already some upsets, some bracket busters going on, but make sure that you get your selections in. That all finalizes on Monday. We are also, everyone was talking about it, you know, we're going to be at DreamHack, so we've got DreamHack tickets. And so there's, for those that are already planning on going and that kind of stuff, take a look. Matt's going to go ahead and drop those links in there. We're going to be announcing a new challenge this week for the month of December, or for the rest of this month, sorry. So yeah, there's a lot going on.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. The first one you talked about, the big moment, the coup de grace that is happening right now, that I think today's the last day, right, is the Game Award bracket challenges. So if people have been living under a rock or frankly just don't follow the Game Awards, but I just like the term living under a rock. I really actually like to meet somebody who lives under a rock someday. I think it's going to happen. I keep lifting rocks looking for humans living under there. It has yet to be successful. But point being is that Jeff Keighley, on his new throne of Game Awards, has announced this year Game Awards nominees. Everything from Best Indie Game, Best Game of the Year, all that sort of stuff. Regardless, you now have the option to go and grab a bracket and fill it out, and winners win. Like, I think they win Alex's house, right? Isn't Army
winners win
Alex's house?
Winners win and losers lose. but
thank you, Alex, for breaking that down.
My house.
No, we've got a couple of swag kits that are up for grabs.
Okay, and those include the chippy keycaps, right? Like the chippy keycaps are in the swag kits?
Yes.
Okay.
And there might be some other fun surprises as well.
Okay. So there's some swag kits up for grabs. So if you feel like you are one with the gaming award universe, like you can own it, you can zen it, you can feel the energy and tap into the future. Kind of like one of our favorite guests on the show, Shelby. You could potentially walk away with a really epic swag kit for being almost like a gaming award prophet or whatever it was, right? So get your entries in. Last day to get into it closes at midnight tonight. When does it close?
It closes on Monday.
Okay. You have more time. Okay, so you close on Monday, so you can even go back and do research. I'm sure there's like a whole like research process and stuff for this as well. So like you could do some research and all that stuff. And the FYI, Electric Yoshi just coming in. Gaming bracket challenge is U.S. only. So that's not to say you couldn't put it in. Just if you're going to win one of the swag kits, it's U.S. only. But anyway, go check it out. All of the nominees, we're actually going to go through them a little bit later on the show. All the nominees and stuff are up available on the channel as well. Okay, so that's part one. What was part two? What was the second one that you mentioned, Sarah? What else is going on? I want to go through them one by one.
Oh, sure. So DreamHack, Intel we're going to have a booth at DreamHack. It's going to be amazing. Robey, you're going to be there. So for those, go check out some tickets. We're going to be giving away some tickets for those that are planning on being there. There's no travel included, so it's the same as we have done before. So please take a look at all of the rules. Yeah, Matt's linked them there in Discord.
So it sounds like DePoets is going to be there. Obviously, rumor is, so there's going to be a big Star Citizen presence, which is why DePoets is going to be there. But the thing is that you should go. I'm going to be there. We have a number of, community members. If you are a community member who knows of and has coordinated with me, please don't enter to win those tickets. Those are different. Those have been taken care of. I just want to make sure we say that. Point being, though, guys, this is a great opportunity. Intel takes care of folks. Great chance to come and see. I mean, you'll get to see CLX. You get to see some really rad esport competitions. Like I said, the Intel booth is going to be pretty lit this year. I've seen some renderings, so I don't want to spoil the surprise. There's lots of people there. Real opportunity to just have a lot of fun. It's a really cool event. So if you're in the Atlanta area or one of the surrounding states like Alaska, Because it goes Alaska, Germany,
Hawaii.
Switzerland, Venice.
Yeah.
Then it's like, isn't it like the Middle Earth, and then it's like Atlanta, right? Like I think that's how it works in the geography way. I think I was really good at geography.
Mordor is the south of it. So
yeah,
right
exactly. Somebody asked a question regarding the giveaway. Is it 1 ticket per winner? Yes, the answer is, Sarah already on top of it. Yes, it is 1 ticket per winner. You cannot enter and win all the tickets and be like, and then just have your own party. You know what I mean? So,
what's the fun
but
of
yeah,
that?
very, very excited about this. It's going to be cool. One thing I did forget to mention is that the other thing that's really neat about the Game Awards is I will actually be at the Game Awards. So I don't know if I get to do red carpet or anything like that, but yeah, we'll be doing my bracket challenge, and I get to see live as it just gets as I watch my dreams get shattered. So yeah, that's gonna be sad, I think. Alex, we're gonna talk about our nominations a little bit later. Yeah, our busted brackets already. But how do you feel like you did on the bracket options?
Why do we have to talk about how I did? Why do we always have to talk about my performance here? I think I got like 1 or 2 at least in the nomination. But some of the things that I called out, it was like not even nominated. So it's like it just shows that I need to spend more time in gaming, which is a great argument. I need to spend more time playing video games. So I'm gonna have to have the conversation with my boss to make sure I get this right.
I will say that ever since I've done the show, I've actually had to get to spend more time gaming because this is like dedicated time I get to game. During the show itself. And then the other thing too is just frankly getting the opportunity to actually play some of this stuff early so that way we can talk about it from a point of education, right? Like we don't want to just like make stuff up. So it's always fun and stuff like that. So
actually it was pretty interesting because one of the categories I will cover, categories or whatever you put the emphasis, sorry. There's a lot of games in there that we play, and it kind of like, oh, that was pretty neat. But we'll get there, so I won't spoil the surprise. But it's pretty interesting to see that.
Yeah. I think that was kind of the cool thing, and we'll talk about that when we get to that section of the show. So those were the 2 things. So right now the active ones are going on, and then again, guys, this is not the end. We have more stuff happening as we approach. But also the other thing too is, guys, I want to give a huge shout out the 14th Gen Challenge. Who had I just like to get a raise of hands. Who spent time solving puzzles, looking for random things in places where they weren't? Who really, really enjoyed the 14th Gen Challenge? It seems like you guys, a lot of people had a lot of fun. I spent 40 plus hours so far, Vip just said. You know what, honestly, I had 40 hours.
Wow.
I spent 40 hours spinning you guys in wrong directions. It was fun. No
you mean last Friday? Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
For us, not for them. Sorry, guys. Sorry, chat.
There's clues everywhere. Everywhere there are clues.
Is this a clue? Is that a clue? Is this a clue?
But reminder, that ends today. So
yes.
Yeah.
So you have your last chance. You can go on and solve a few more puzzles and all that sort of stuff as well. So that is still ongoing. And today, that's the one that was today. Sarah, I failed you. I'm sorry. You're just going to see me getting pulled off the screen again as she grabs you're done. Going from there. So yeah, last day for the 14th Gen channel. If you love puzzles, this is the opportunity to do it. I will tell you, there are 36 puzzles in today's episode.
You're so mean. There are not, guys. Red herring. Red herring.
Red herring.
37.
That was the first code word. Red herring. Use it. It's a codex. See what you can get out. That was the first code word. Red herring. Oh, man.
Right. So what did we establish last Friday? Anything coming out of Robey's mouth?
No, I love it. I love that people
trusted.
were so into it. Matt's gonna beat me up later. Rumor is he's gonna buy me lunch at Costco, and then I'm gonna get a stern talking to. But it's gonna be pretty awesome. Yeah. So I mean, again, a lot of stuff going on. I have to say, I'm hoping that as you guys have seen the Intel show. I dared not say morning show, but we'll figure that out. But as the Intel show has kind of happened, you guys have seen some new active engagement. You guys have had some cool challenges and competitions pop up. We are doing our first today around the game that we're playing, guys. That I honestly, that's so cool, isn't it, Alex?
Yeah, it's awesome. I can't wait. It's a lot of fun.
So we are going to be playing Civilization 6, and we're going to be talking a little bit about this later on. But we're going to be playing Civilization 6, and the reason we're playing Civilization 6, because I heard, Sarah, I think through the grapevine, some people are like, why are you playing a game that's been out for a while? Well, number one, first, it's awesome. So if you've never played Civ 6, go lose your life to next turn. And can I just get a raise of hands? Can I go get a raise of hands of how many people next turn, oh my God, it's 3 in the morning.
That was me last
night.
That was me. Actually, last night and during the workday, don't tell my boss, I was like, ooh, email. Oh, next turn. Oh, wait, one more turn. I gotta go back to the email.
Anyway, regardless, we are going to be giving away, how many copies of Civ 6, Sarah? I think it was 8 or 6. I'm sorry, I don't remember right off the top of my head.
We went big. We've got 8 today. So there's going to be 8 lucky winners.
8 copies of Civilization 6 we're giving away today. Now, as part of this Civilization 6 hubbub, why we're playing it is that Civilization has essentially added new monthly challenges. Now on the Intel Discord channel, discord.gg/Intel, you should check it out. It's like lasered in my brain. You are going to have the opportunity to finish the monthly challenge. If you finish the monthly challenge and show your badge, which you have until December 12th to earn. So you can show your badge later, but December 12th is when the monthly challenge ends. You have until December 12th to finish it, and then you will be entered to win some epic swag kits that we're going to be giving away to people who participate in the game challenge, which, come on guys, that's super awesome. It's cool to see, like, now it's not just Alex and I playing the game and making them look really bad because we're terrible game players, but now you can make them look bad too with us.
Yay! It's a big happy family.
Yeah, and everybody likes that. Yes. What new is Matt going on vacation?
He hasn't.
He is.
I didn't approve that. Matt,
me neither. We got him a longer leash.
Yeah, Matt, you can't cancel your vacation. Sorry, I think you were. What were you taking? Were you taking the family to? Too bad. Were you going to take the family to Costco? Is that what was that? What's the vacation? Do we know? But anyway, guys, there's the Sarah.
Yep, Costco.
Yes, Costco. If you are down, go ahead and check it out. We got the information for the challenge. You guys are going to see us. We're going to talk you through what the rules and stuff are. And rumor is, guys, we're going to have somebody from the Civilization team, community manager from the Civilization team, here on the show in chat, speaking with you folks. If you guys want to get some tips and tricks to unlock one of those swag kits, he'll be a great person to interact with. So the only person who cannot ask for tips and tricks is Alex. Alex, no asking for hints. You got to figure it out on your own, buddy.
I'm fine.
He's like, fine. Wait, no, he's here. Mike, he's already here.
There we go.
It's like on cue. He was ready to go. So
I think
Mike,
he was earlier today.
Yeah, if you're over discord.gg/Intel, Mike's 2K, he's there. If you guys have questions or want to talk about the challenge or get some hints and tips, let me ask you this question, Mike. Is the secret to success rock bands? I think it is. I think it's rock bands, right? Like that's my goal. That's where I'm going, is building rock bands. But I'm wondering if you feel like that is going to be like the way to go. We're gonna have to see what Mike says.
I have another tip is make sure that when you start playing the game, you read how you achieve a win. Because I started playing as taking over the world, and it's actually a culture win, not a take over the world kind of win. So that kind of skewed my whole strategy in the wrong direction. So I had to start all over again.
Oh, yeah. And it's funny, one of the things I did find out is, so when we get a little bit later on tonight, tonight. Wow, I act like this show is going to be 8 hours long. Hey, surprise, guys, it's a special marathon edition. No, when I get to a little bit player, when we actually play later on, I'm actually going to be starting over from the beginning, not because I want to, but because I'm actually playing on a different system. And so I just figured, hey, the best thing is just to show people what it is, and then I'm going to see if I can get that much better. But I was in the middle of building Broadway when I had to basically make sure that I that I stopped and calmed down and made sure I was over here in time to actually start the show. So anyway, exciting thing, cool to actually have us have a participation challenge so people can play the game along with us. I know Civ 6 is one of those games that you don't have to win a code to basically be able to play. If you have a copy of Civ 6, feel free to just jump in. The challenges are free, and it's actually a really neat way for them to, it's almost like seasons, you know what I mean? Like seasons in games like Diablo or other things. They're giving you a targeted way to play, and by having these creative creative scenarios. It adds a whole new level of like breadth for a game that honestly I've spent a ton of time in, especially Civ resolutions and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, see Mike 2K shouting it out right there. I'm just telling you, rock bands, big culture. Too bad they break up a lot, but point is, rock bands, big culture. Okay, so anyway, I think that's most. Did we hit all of the high points for the things that we needed to cover before we get to news, Sarah? I just want to make sure you don't get angry at me. I see that hook just waiting for me. I'm staring at it.
No hook. We are good. We're good.
No hook. Okay, somebody asked about the Intel chicken.
I know. I'm trying to figure out what that is, but I sent a picture and like, wow, I really like the Intel chicken.
It literally is a picture in Discord of an Intel chicken, a chicken from Intel. Dude, that looks like
what event was that?
That looks like a heck of a party, whatever it is.
I wasn't invited.
Yeah, what event is that?
Could that be?
Yeah, it is IEM. IEM, I guess Australia.
Was
that Sydney?
IEM? Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you get a chicken? Intel. Oh, there really are Intel chickens.
Chickens.
What?
Really? The Intel chicken? Oh
Guys,
my
I'm
God.
on it. I'm on it.
I'm just saying,
I will
Sarah.
hunt down the Intel
Sarah,
chicken.
where's my Intel chicken?
I had no idea. I
got Chippy right here. Chippy's here. He's lonely.
We have essentially birthed a new cultural thing right here. Intel chicken is just coming in there. I'm just gonna grab my big. I'm gonna make Alex feel inadequate with my big. This is one of the OG.
That's the original.
This is the OG at the beginning with the Robeytech face. The OG Chippy right here. So I got OG Chippy chilling with us because he's starting to feel jealous about Intel chicken. So. I'm just saying, we might have it.
So tell me, guys, the battle. Like, what are we voting on? Like, is it Chippy or chicken?
That is true.
Oh, that is a good question.
Is it fried?
They both start with C, so C wins.
I need to know.
Pig Radio says, I can't draw a chicken, but maybe I could wing it.
He's on it. Man, that was good. That was good.
Got a good one. He is. What came first, the chicken or the chippy? Okay. I'm just feeling like we got some quality dad moments already happening in the channel as it is. Okay, guys. Well, let's jump into today's news. We have some interesting articles for you, as well as it's time. Alex and Sarah, we've put it off too much. It's time to start talking Black Friday deals. Because Black Friday's, believe it or not, it's. In fact, I was actually helping somebody this morning, Beard, who's a friend of mine, trying to buy a PC. And honestly, the Black Friday stuff is really ramped up. I know companies like Origin and all these other ones have started to do it, and Best Buy has some really great deals. So we're going to definitely be covering some great Black Friday deals if you're looking for gifts for yourself or anything like that. And then I think actually it might be a little bit of fun, Sarah. Maybe before Christmas we do a Robey and Alex's favorite things. You know what I mean? I think that would always be that should be a fun one as well. So
that is true.
Just thinking about that.
Make that happen.
I think so too. All right, well, let's jump into the news. Kicking things off with basically we've got the birth of a new indie, their company buying indie 23 bits. You want to talk a little bit about this one, Alex?
Yes, so we have Annapurna. I kept saying it wrong. I say Annapurna.
Yeah, it's got a different name. Yeah.
Annapurna. So they actually went and they're an indie developer, and they've been working very close with a company called South Africa 24-bit Games, and they actually went and acquired them. So you can see, all these indies are still there, but they're starting to grow and become a little bit bigger, a little better. So they're known for. I actually haven't heard of this game, but then again, I haven't played. Don't hit me. I haven't played a console in a while, but they have Maquette. They have the Cocoon for the PlayStation. They also have 12 Minutes, and they also have Memoir Blue. So if you guys know about it, in there.
I want to play Broforce with you. I think we need to play Broforce together. I mean, I feel like Broforce. How have we not played this game? So of the emails of the games that you mentioned, 12 Minutes. If you haven't had a chance to play 12 Minutes, It's a ridiculously crazy game, and it's a lot of fun. Great puzzle game. It's essentially you wake up, you're unconscious, and then you're just trying to solve what essentially happened during a 12-minute cycle, and then you get to replay those minutes over and over again. So it's like Groundhog Day, but it's a really cool game. The thing that's super interesting about this, and I wanted to bring this up, and this there was some big debate going on with some of the gaming pantheon folks about the fact that we now have big publishers buying indie studios, but then we've actually had games, and there was a number of games that were nominated in the indie category for the Game of the Year from the Game Awards that are owned by bigger companies. So does that necessarily mean that they're still indie style? And there was a huge amount of conversation going on about this over the, ever since the announcement going in there, is like, what defines an indie title anymore? Because it was supposed to be independent studio, but you can't be an independent studio if you are owned by a large corporation. So curious.
But, it's curious, but all corporations start small. So where's the line? That'll be an interesting conversation. It's like, when do you become a big corp? I mean, you're indie, you're independent. All companies are independent. They're just, I guess, the size tells their reach. I don't know. It's a definitely interesting conversation.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation. I don't know if anybody has any opinion. That's some of the stuff that's come out in No Pulse. Is people are like, is it a small team, even if they're very well funded? You know what I mean? Or is it somebody who's supposed to be completely independent? Like people like Stardew Valley, which were made like by one team and not actually funded by big development teams. And it feels like with these now big companies now being able to, have well-funded teams, even though they're small, are they getting an unfair advantage to win some of these awards that really should be celebrated for smaller game developers? Okay. I don't really know if I have a big enough opinion on it. I'm just giving you the perspective that has kind of come out from some of the game guys. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what people's approach is. But we've already seen companies like the Game Awards, which are the people who celebrate this, have kind of already taken a stance. And I'm just curious what other people think. But I
think what we're lacking of is like a definition of a standard, like, okay, this is or like a cultural definition, not like of what's an indie and what's not. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is actually pretty interesting, right? When you kind of look at it that way. Some stuff. Speaking, I know a lot of people here are hoping 2K Mike gives us some information on Civ 7, but another beloved franchise got some new information, a little bit of new information, and this is, of course, Sims 5 dev talking about including multiplayer in the upcoming. Sims devs talking about the potentially including multiplayer in the upcoming Sims 5. I have played a good amount of Sims. Again, it was one of those games that I was always curious about the phenomenon that is Sims. It's a broad appeal title. My wife, she's played 2 MMOs in her life. She played World of Warcraft, and she quit World of Warcraft because it was too addicting. And then the second one that she played was Sims Online, which was really interesting to watch her socially deal with how the Sims Online was. Again, Sims Online kind of closed down, but it's interesting because there seems to be 2 camps that this article is talking about. 2 camps of people. There are the Sims folks who are like, please leave Sims as a single player experience. Don't mess with it. We had the Sims Online that was a little bit of a failure. We don't want to have that like corrupt the what has been such a polished experience around Sims. The second one is they look, the Sims developers are looking at games like Animal Crossing, where you can invite in small amounts a number of people to like your home or your community, and then they can experience it but not necessarily ruin the experience, because that's been that's almost been such a cornerstone of games that are similar. I mean, like in a lot of ways, you can see some similarities between Sims and Animal Crossing as well. And so there has been, to see something like this where they're talking about adding this as a feature has created some schisms in the community who wants to know which way it's going. Again, nothing concrete announced, right? Like they didn't say for sure we're going to add multiplayer, but I'd love to know thoughts, guys, on do you want to have anybody playing Sims 5, or sorry, Sims? Do you feel like this would ruin the experience? Alex, what are your thoughts?
I think that's the right approach, man. You just dip your toe in to see how how the whole the audience reacts to it. I think that's the way to approach it. I mean, and we have games that have single player and multiplayer, so I think you can service both of the audiences that way. I think the main thing that you have to do is stay true to the single player. That way you don't how do you call that? You bother that audience. Like you have this great core audience that follows you around, so make sure you tender to it. And then there's always you want to grow the next time. Yeah, you can do that. And there's games out there, for example, lack of a better game, which is not even close, but Call of Duty. You have a single player and you also have a multiplayer, and that way you can do both, right? There's people like that, our skills, our reflexes are not as sharp as they used to. So single player seems like a good approach to multiplayer because we're tired of losing. But yeah, I think that's the way to go for it.
I mean, it's an interesting perspective, right? Again, I think what you talk about is your core audience, and we have seen games and actually even companies who've stepped away from their core audiences, and that hasn't gone well, right? Like, if you want people to come back, there's got to be a certain balance. I feel like by them introducing small and then making sure that the core experience of the game, which is the single player, is as polished as what they would expect, then they need to be. I think that as long as they nail home, then I feel like the community gives them room to explore, right? And you've seen some of that stuff. For instance, one example, and I don't know if this is the best example, but it's Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite is a game in which they've had huge demand, and at the time we had huge demand for doing a battle royale. But I think one of the reasons that now people are down to have a battle royale is that the core Slayer modes and the core modes, Forge and everything else were really good, and so they're okay with actually having Halo kind of step out of its comfort zone and build something that attracts new players because they didn't destroy the core Halo experience. And so that's an example that a similar one that I could see like almost a similar illustration between the two. And I know I'm seeing it here. Like, yeah, some people are like, no Halo Royale. Some people, opposite side, I wish they would make a battle royale. But it feels like if you want to bring in new players, multiplayer Sims, you know what I mean, with deathmatch and like with Intel chickens, feels like the way to go, Alex. I feel like that's the right direction.
Yeah, you're just trying to grow your audience, right? And conserve the one that you already have that, all those fans that love your game for what it is, and then like, hey, maybe we'll try something else to attract more people and show them how great we are.
I feel like a Sims 5 Halo Battle Royale with the Intel chicken. I feel like that's where everything needs to go. I think that's what we're getting from the community right here. Is that's the right answer. Okay, next on the story.
I think Intel chicken.
What were you saying, Sarah?
I think the Intel chicken looks like it belongs on party animals. I'm just saying.
It does. It does.
I agree with that. Can we just get a GG to Sarah for making that connection? Can we get the Intel chicken on party animals?
That's for Sarah. She just gave her own homework right there.
Can we get the Intel chicken as a? Can we get the Intel chicken as a great artist or great musician?
Yes, on Civilization.
In Civilization, I feel like the Intel chicken.
Pressure.
Science. Ooh, great scientist. Ooh, great scientist. The Intel chicken is a great scientist.
No, or a great admiral. Great admiral. That'll be cool.
I just feel like this is like Mike. We're getting this in. I think when can we see this? Can we get this by the time we play in the next 30 minutes? I mean, I think
he's going to be able to pull that off.
I think so. Going from there. Okay, continuing the story.
Where are we at? Oh yeah.
This is an interesting one. Because there is a very divisive thing right now going on with people and their view of the PlayStation Portable. PlayStation Portal. Sorry, wow. Even I had a moment there. PlayStation Portal. Alex, break it down. Where are we at on this thing?
So that's my question. Okay, so the PlayStation Portal it's pretty much a device that you have at home that you can actually stream. It's a streaming device within your home, and you actually have to have a PlayStation to do it. So that's what it is. So it reminded me a lot of the NVIDIA Shield, which was like, oh, it's kind of neat. So for example, if your significant other, mom, brother, sibling, everything is using the TV and you want to play, you can't. Okay, so you just jump into that. So one of the things that I was thinking is like, how was this presented? Was this presented as a portable, or was just this presented as a streaming device? Which, yes, and I think that's the issue, right there. People thinking this was a portable, and it's like, no, this has always been a streaming device, and maybe that's where the Discord, it's at.
So so it was announced. I mean, everybody. So the whole thing is like leading up to before it was announced. Everybody thought that this was like either a PS Vita or a PlayStation Portable 2. When it was announced, I mean, again, I have to give hats off to Sony for making it look super sexy in B-roll, and then people are like, "This is going to be rad." But then as people kind of started to learn, about what it really does, it's got no local storage. It does do remote play. And at the same time, it literally is just to play remote play, and there's no connection to PlayStation Cloud, so there's no PS Cloud or anything like that. It's $200, right? Which, and again, what you get is you get a remote experience with with DualSense. I've heard, and it's funny because No Pulse in Discord said that he actually has this device. I actually tried to buy it. I was going to go drive to Bellingham to pick one up because I was like, I need to find this thing and give it a chance. But I heard the screen, like it's kind of blurry, and in terms of, but for the people who are very hardcore PlayStation fans have been touting its praises. The people on the other side of that who like talk about, well, why not just use a Steam Deck or a Razer, basically use Backbone or any one of control, just use your phone, right? Do you really need something like this? And people are like, it's all about the DualSense. I haven't tried it, I haven't used it, so I don't have a comment. But $200 seems like an awful lot. Like the Logitech G Cloud is another example of a device that does way more. It's only like $49 more, and it feels like it does more. And it has actually. I have a Logitech G Cloud. Been pretty impressed with it. I like it because it lasts forever, and I can connect not just with my PlayStation, but also with my Xbox and anything else, Steam, any other of these cloud devices as well. So I don't know. I'd love to get people's opinion of this in chat. I think that's one of the things I wanted to bring up, and I think you were kind of saying the same thing, Alex.
I agree. Yeah, I think it's the perception of what people are having, and that's why the camp is divided into two. And I was trying to figure it out, like, if they had any specs on the screen, but it'll be interesting to see. So it's all about your expectations, right? If you were expecting a competitor to the Steam Deck or to the ROG Ally, then yeah, I can see you getting angry. But if you were thinking of this just like NVIDIA Shield, like the Logitech we were talking about, then definitely a very different approach.
Yeah, and again, I don't even put this in. Some people are just saying like, "Hey, I have my Steam Deck." So we actually have the ROG Ally, the Steam Deck, the Lenovo Go. We have 1X Player. We have the only one we don't have is the it's like Najee or whatever it was. I forgot what the name of that one. It's the only handheld we don't actually have, and then now we have our OLED coming as well. I did want to try this because we also have a Logitech G Cloud. I did want to try this. People said when you compare it against other experiences with people streaming to PlayStation 5 to their device, they've noticed the screen isn't as clear, right? And so they called it blurriness, but it wasn't. If they're only used to it using it on the PlayStation Portal, they may not notice this. I don't know. I haven't used it. It's something we want to check out. But it seems like some people do seem to take thoughts from this overall thing. We're gonna give it a go. I don't know. I mean, it's just like I don't actually know how I feel about this device.
I think one of the chat, I forgot who it was who brought it up. They were saying like maybe if your screen is blurry, your screen is blurry. I should ease up on the coffee. If your screen is blurry, it maybe just like it depends on your Wi-Fi connection or Bluetooth.
Yeah, which is what No Pulse is saying. Yeah, No Pulse is.
Oh, there we go.
And again, I don't think I can find a more optimal way to connect to test it, right? So in my home, we have a PlayStation 5 on each floor, and then we have Wi-Fi. Now we have a Wi-Fi 6. We have Wi-Fi 6E plus a 6E mesh. So I'm like, if there's anything that it should work with two 1 gig internet connections, if there's anything that should work, it's definitely got to work in my place. Because if it doesn't, because I was reading the review from Engadget, and they were just saying it's super finicky. Even when he's like 20 feet from the router and stuff like that. So we'll have to see what comes out of it. But interesting device, $200. I have a feeling it's going to, I think the other thing too is I have a feeling you're going to be able to get it cheaper. It did sell out. It was not something that you could get very easily. I don't know if it's in stock anymore, but it'd be interesting. I don't have too many. I just have a mesh network that this, so we'll have to see how that goes. And we'll go from there. Any other thoughts on the device there, Mr. Alex, or are you good for the next story?
I'm good for the next story. Just remind me I need to buy a handheld game, maybe a Switch 2, something. I'm actually surprised. You know what I'm surprised about today? I don't see any Nintendo stories. So I'm a little worried because you guys always, put in a little Nintendo story as a like, Alex.
I think you were too on to us, right? I was like, oh, I mean, maybe I need to stop doing this. I just, he's getting into the whole thing like a little bit much. Okay, next one on here, I actually was really stoked about. Hold on one second here. I'm gonna have to. My browser just crashed. Okay, so let's bring this back up. I hate it when good things happen. Okay, so next one on the list here, which I actually thought was super cool. So PC Gamer, which I like this site. It's a cool site. They did an interesting article that is the most important games and moments of PC gaming over the last 30 years. So I'd love to see, like, as you guys look through this, let me know. I'd love to see and have you guys raise your hand that you agree or don't agree with each one we're going to kind of go through there, because I think this is actually a really, really neat article. So kicking it off here. So we have part one, and we go. We're just going to do part one for this month. But number one, they said in the past 30 years, kicking it off with Doom in 1993.
Yeah,
essentially,
that was
the birth of mainstream FPS. Like in terms of this took PC first-person shooters to the mainstream, which was Doom. So I don't know, guys, thoughts? Doom. I mean, let me know, yay or nay. This is where they're kicking it off. What do you think, Alex? But mine might be wrong, so people correct me. But Wolfenstein was the first one, but Doom just took it to another level. And you actually, if you play with the lights turned off, you actually get scared because of the sound and the goriness. So it was. I agree. I mean, I'm also a little biased because this was brings so great memories. When I was three years old playing it, it was a great game. So it's funny, people are reacting, and I love it. I love the passion. People are reacting. Yes, you are absolutely right that there are other 3D games that came out with before Doom. I would say, like, people are talking about Wolfenstein 3D. Wolfenstein 3D is a great example, out before Doom. I will say, culturally, phenomenon-wise, Doom was by far bigger than any one of those games.
I
Doom,
agree.
I would say, as somebody who got in the game, I worked in the game industry for 20 plus years. Doom was literally the birth of mainstream first-person shooters. It was, and it made it run everywhere. They put it on everything. It was on like the 32X, the Sega CD, the Genesis. I mean, it was more than any other game. So I'm just curious. I'm not disagreeing that Doom isn't important. I'm just saying that those other games aren't important. I'm just saying that Doom was the one that kind of seemed to make the switch from what is essentially cultish when you think about Wolfenstein and some of these other games to mainstream and approachable. So, even the point that you actually can play ray traced Doom 3 now.
Yeah. What are you waiting for? Christmas? Yeah. That's from Nuke Nukem.
Next one, which can we get an F in the chat for this one? Because again, I would agree. But E3 begins June 1995. Can we get an F in the chat? Because it came and it went equally as much, but this was literally as you started to see gaming making the changeover from mainstream. Finally, the world had forgiven Atari and for essentially ruining console gaming and stuff like that. Things kind of came back with the birth of E3. It was the most anticipated event for years and years and years. I had the opportunity to attend 12 of them, 12 different E3s. There was no other show like it, and then it was sad as we got near the end, especially with the pandemic, to watch the end of essentially this as game companies made their own versions of their own events, right? Whether that's Nintendo Direct or the Xbox Game Show or anything like that. Interesting thing about E3 is E3 was where everything came about game news, right? Like it was almost like what is Computex and CES for the PC industry, where people anticipated E3, and at the same time, because E3 became so big and so well attended and so much news, that news would cross over to mainstream outlets like CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, etc. would also cover things, not just on top of like EGN, Game Informer, and everything else, right? So thoughts, yeah, E3 became, but thoughts, I think, let's get the thumbs up, thumb down. Do you agree? In the last 30 years, this is a very, very big event and considered a milestone. Alex, your thoughts?
I completely agree. Yeah, this is definitely something that put gaming in the main. Well, one of the reasons that the gaming became mainstream, or at least one of the canaries in the mind that showed like, hey, gaming is mainstream. All the gamers, geeks, nerds, now it's the main thing. We all like to game. We all have fun, and this definitely put it on the map. And like you said, this was where all the big gaming. This and Gamescom is where all the big the releases and all the big companies and corporations and publishers came over to do that, and it was great. It was great. I wasn't as fortunate to be able to go, but I heard only great things about it, so I can only imagine.
Well, it's funny because Viptis knew what was coming next. Or actually, I had scrolled up. Okay, so it feels like most people agree. But next up is Quake, which Quake was literally like it literally like Doom. Even though Doom made it a cultural phenomenon, it's like Quake was essentially what created the fastest. Like Quake was a fast game, TTD, like it was time to death, movement mechanics, like everything. It was all about it in terms of nailing the core experience and multiplayer, right? Like Quake was the birth of the first like kind of big esport player. It was a lot of ways in terms of watching esports for first-person shooters. A lot of stuff came out because of Quake, and so I would have to think that yes, I would agree that this Quake coming out and literally what it did for the game industry and specifically for what became the sportsman. What is it? The esportification, I guess is the right word. Of gaming, along with games like StarCraft. You can't be understated. Thoughts from the community, and then we'll kick it off to you, Alex, while people respond.
So my question to you, back in the day, I didn't get to play with Quake because I was in another stage of my life, and it was pretty interesting. So was that kind of the first game that you could actually play with friends, as in, I guess, internet? Because that was still the internet was starting to become more available to everybody else. So was that kind of the reason? Well, that and all the other stuff that you said, that it kind of took off and became this cultural movement.
I think that you could definitely play other multiplayer games. There were other multiplayer games, but the connection around them, they were designated in terms of LAN only, which Quake was a big one. But there was, and it was. It's not like they had a network service like Xbox Live or something like that allowed them to connect. That actually came a bit later. It was just. This was the birth of QuakeCon, right? Like QuakeCon was, people would start to celebrate and create LANs to get together. And then in so much so that companies came behind them and said, hey, we'll make sponsorships and stuff around these LANs as we start to find the best players. And then people would go to watch these best players, right? So it wasn't that they invented multiplayer. I mean, you could play multiplayer in lots of other titles via LAN connection and stuff like that. Games like Age of Empires and other ones that were out way before this. But the other thing, too, is that this just specifically kind of like in terms of nailed the feel of the first-person shooter on PC. I'd say GoldenEye nailed it for console.
Yes, GoldenEye,
but Quake kind of nailed it for PC. So, next one on here, which, again, I'm going to have to, so far I haven't had any agreement, but Ultima Online, what is essentially the birth of the MMO. And it was like, again, there are going to be other MMOs that are going to kind of come after it, but and some of the stories of MMOs, which have been some of the stories coming out of Ultima Online, Richard Garriott, all that sort of stuff, coming out September 1997. When you think about how long ago that was, that's crazy to think of how long MMOs have been with us. I don't know if you've ever played Ultima Online, ever followed it or anything like that, Alex. Do you have any thoughts?
No, I never played it. Back then, I was playing a lot of LucasArts Films games, so I didn't get to experience the Ultima Online. And that was also that's when when I moved from South America to the US. So I was trying to figure out who's and what. so not much time to play, unfortunately. But it looks pretty cool, though.
I mean, they actually even talk about the story that's so funny is that the scene of the gaming's most famous instance of griefing, where Richard Garriott, who is the co-founder of Origin, which made Wing Commander and a bunch of other games, he's Lord British. His avatar was assassinated during a beta test. And it was like this like massive thing that essentially happened. It was actually pretty funny. And so it's like one of these like legendary gaming moments where somebody who was supposed to be unkillable was actually killed during a beta test. And it was crazy. Then there's some interesting ones that kind of come at there. So we got Fallout 1997, which was like they're saying the beginning of CRPG. So this is like RPGs for PCs, and then this one brought back essentially RPGs for PC. I mean, again, I guess I never connected the dots that Fallout was as big as it was, but again, Fallout, Bethesda. I mean, you look at some of the games they created, you know, and what was birthed out of the game of essentially Fallout. What do you got? I mean, I don't know. Thoughts? I don't know. I'd love to see chat in terms of this one.
Well, I don't know about Fallout, but definitely the ones that are coming out. StarCraft.
Yeah. you're like, we'll skip this one. Some people are like, I think this is the first time I got to something I was like, I don't know if I would. This is the only one that I don't think I would put on my list. I would be like, I don't know, maybe somebody like it created. It was almost like Wolfenstein 3D. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it did enough that it started to do something else. But this is the one that I was like, I don't know if that was it. Next up, the Voodoo graphics card from 3D Effects, which included hardware acceleration. Man, and it's so funny because people think, you know, a lot of people think, oh, the Voodoo 2 and the 3D Effects card were like the first like cards you had to buy to add some of this stuff, but this was like literally, it like literally just changed the state in terms of how good games looked, and so it's actually pretty crazy to really think about it. 3D Effects wasn't around long enough afterwards, but really what they kind of made was the birth of like the modern day graphics card in a lot of ways. So it was yeah, people are talking about it right there. But yeah, pretty crazy. I have to agree with that, Alex. I think you would say the same thing.
Yeah, I will do the same thing. There's a lot of good memories and things, and not only that, but the art on the boxes for Voodoo. Those are epic. Yeah, I wish I could have those and have like a collection. It's like, this is my collection of all the art that they have in there. It was pretty cool.
Okay, well we're gonna start climbing through this pretty quick because we want to definitely get to some gameplay pretty soon. Other ones that were on the list, and then we'll just kind of finish this out. StarCraft for sure. I mean, again, StarCraft was essentially that. If any game that's really birthed
right there.
Esports, it was StarCraft. And it wasn't in the US, it really was overseas in Korea, which, I mean, if you ever watch those OG StarCraft or StarCraft 2 tournaments, dude, it was, yeah.
I remember going to Korea for the first time, and I was just walking in a regular mall, and this was before there were, you know, dedicated, I don't know, this was, you know, the birth of esports, and I would walk through, and there were like different areas, like common areas of the mall with just PCs, and they're just kids in there just playing StarCraft. It's like, oh my God, this is so big.
Yep.
And you know, as we saw, it's huge. It was huge. It's still huge.
Yep. Yeah, and that's true. Yeah, only one person had to actually own the game at the time. That was true. So as long as one person owned it, then everybody could play, which was actually pretty crazy. Thief: The Dark Project. I don't know, man. This was like, I was like, this of everything else that's in this list, I was like, sure, whatever. Age of Empires 2. I worked on this game, so this was actually the beginning of. I worked on one of the expansions for the Age of Empires 2 series, but yeah, you can't. Again, and now we now have Age 4, right? Age of Empires 4 finally came out. Essentially, it's still one of those games that literally has people still playing it. We just had the remakes done by Microsoft, which I was part of the team for doing that stuff. But again, this was the birth of RTSs. A lot of things, the Age of Empires kind of and StarCraft were really kind of the whole thing around this. And this is what, believe it or not, Age of Empires is what made Microsoft Game Studios. So this was the OG birth of Xbox, which is actually pretty crazy when you think about that stuff.
That's pretty great. I mean, but that's also. I mean, that's a great. I have that game. It's a great game, and I was playing it like 2 months ago with a friend because it's like, it used to bring old memories. So, you know, I love the classics.
Deus Ex, which, I mean, some people say it's Deus Ex, but I did learn the appropriate thing, Deus Ex. It's just like, again, what they're saying is that Deus Ex was just the culmination of a bunch of tech. The second one was actually also very, very crazy in terms of that. Again, it's one of those things I feel like they were like, hey, we're out of things to talk about. We need to add one more, so let's throw Deus Ex and Thief in there. I don't know. Windows XP.
I will give it, because before that,
Yeah.
I think it was, Windows 95, right? No,
Yeah.
well, we had Windows Millennial, but we'll skip over that one. And then we had Windows 95, which was the previous one. Before that, it was Windows 3.1. So, yeah, definitely Windows XP was big. A big change.
I mean, it literally did. I mean, it's funny because it took away command lines. It it became it came about stability. It was one of those things that people weren't running side by side. And so it was essentially, this feels like, you could think of it as two ways. It was the end of the DOS golden age, right? Like with,
Exactly.
and then at the birth of what would become Windows gaming. So, I'm gonna have to argue that, you're not
95
wrong.
was run on top of DOS, right?
I mean, it still is. Everything still is running. Technically,
Yeah,
it's
that's
running
true.
on
That's
DOS,
technically,
so.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Battlefield, I mean, I can't, like, it's funny. There are other games, but we're getting there. So people are saying Half-Life 2. We're going to get there. Battlefield 1942, again, I think one of those games, it's funny, like, you think about where Battlefield was back then. It was like a mainstay. Again, this is what probably in a lot of ways birthed the Call of Duty, birthed the Battlefield War. And I can't even think of the amount of hours I've spent playing 1942 and all of those games, dude. It took forever. Halo was not the no. So Nakey Jakey was saying Halo was the birth of Xbox. Understand, when you think about Xbox as an organization, I just here's a little history lesson from somebody who worked there. I was there at the beginning. Microsoft Game Studios was formed around Age of Empires, Space Simulator, Train Sim, and some other games. And essentially, Seamus and the team worked with the DirectX team and all that sort of stuff. So, before Halo wasn't in existence until the Xbox project began, and then that's when Halo started working. Halo was what made Xbox successful, but Xbox existed because of Microsoft Game Studios, and Microsoft Game Studios came about because of the Age of Empires and Age of Empires franchise. So that's the story there. Halo was born because of Xbox, but Halo was not responsible for the creation of Xbox. So, EVE Online. I'm just gonna say this because I played this game way too much, and this game is still in existence today.
And
crazy,
it's
it's
crazy.
all run by a player-created universe. If you look up Rona. If you search for Rona, Justin Robey, or Rona EVE Online, that was all me. I had the largest corporation in the game. I used to play it while also working at Microsoft. And yeah, dude, crazy game. I don't know. Does anybody still play EVE? Did you ever play EVE, Alex?
No, I had a lot of friends that played, and it's just
Spreadsheets in space. Yep.
Exactly, spreadsheet space and blueprints.
I had to quit because it became a second job. I used to have to do phone calls and literally diplomatic relations, and it was not. It was a job.
Not healthy.
EVE Online was a job, and I was like, I'm not getting paid for this, so no thanks. Okay, and then the last ones that are on the list, Valve and the release of Steam. I don't think anybody's going to argue. If anybody argues this, then yeah, I can't. I can't.
Did you see that a comment from a Figment? I don't know how much sleep my husband and his best friend lost in playing in shifts to protect all their in-game crap.
Oh yeah.
I don't blame them.
And the funny thing is like there are still those crazy stories about literally tens of thousands of dollars stolen from corporate criminals and all this other stuff in these games. So EVE still has some of the crazy. You're absolutely right. EVE still has some of the craziest stories attached to it, and I have been in the middle of many of those as well, which was actually pretty crazy. And then the last one, I mean, Call of Duty. This was the whole reason. I mean, Call of Duty was essentially the whole reason that the Activision Blizzard merger almost didn't happen.
Yeah.
So anyway, that is it. That is just the beginning, guys. We haven't even gotten to the other parts. We'll cover those in later episodes. But what did you think, Sarah? Did we bring back any memories for you? Any of these that cause like that nervous twitch or like that you know what I mean?
Who?
We may have
We lost
lost.
Sarah.
Oh,
Yes.
No, blood pressure is still okay. No.
No. I was like expecting more than a one-word answer and did not get it. Okay, there he is. She's like, nope.
That reminded me of The Fifth Element.
Yeah, she was like, no. That's all there was to it. Okay, well, there we go. And that's all we're getting for the Overlord today. Okay, coming up next, guys, before we get into our Civ gameplay, we're gonna cover some stuff, some interesting things. We wanted to make sure that we're doing our due diligence and talking to you guys about Black Friday deals, which are always like such a fun thing. And so we had our team go out and just kind of find some of the more interesting ones that are available currently. And then we're just going to run through those real quick. Huge shout out to Best Buy for just sharing some of this stuff and then letting us talk about it. So let's open it up. First thing we're going to start with is we're going to talk about laptop deals, because I mean there's always again, it feels like laptops have been almost like there's almost been a nirvana in terms of just trying to get people to kind of get in. We're getting into the end where a lot of folks who got laptops around the pandemic are actually at a point where they might need to upgrade, right? And so we had some cool ones that have shown up on the list here. So bring these up.
Of laptops,
go ahead, Alex. Go ahead.
Yeah, the performance of laptops throughout the last couple of years, and by last I mean like 5 or more, has improved so much that, I mean, obviously they won't be as good as a desktop PC, but they're so close, or depending on what laptop you have, they could be up there with the PC, with the desktop PC. So yeah, that's why you see like you said, this nirvana of laptops coming out. Like one thing, especially for you and I, Robey, that we travel a lot, is like laptop, handheld gaming, and all this other stuff, or when you need to do some streaming from when like DreamHack or other places that you're attending. So yeah, laptops have made a big improvement from a standpoint of performance to battery to everything. So that's why you see the nirvana of laptops.
Yep. And there's some really good ones. Again, it's really interesting. Last week we got a chance to kind of show. Like one of like some of the like where things have gone. I feel like companies have learned a ton about how to do a balance between mix and gaming, and then having all of these different workloads, right? So you have like Ultrabooks and all of, and you guys specifically, Intel, have a ton of different processors that are really good for a bunch of these different laptops. So just going through here, we have stuff that's all the way down from $379.99, and we're dropping links and stuff like that in the Twitch chats and everything else if you guys want to see those. We also have them, and we also have them in down in the description for YouTube if you're catching this on YouTube later. Some really, really good ones. I want to highlight some ones though. Asus RG Zephyrus. This is a 240 hertz gaming laptop with an Intel Core i9, 16 gig of memory, and a 4070, which is and a 1 terabyte NVMe drive. We've actually showed a number of Asus ones. They do things like they use metals for their TID, so they use liquid metal for their cooling. They're not very loud in terms of the overall soundscape when they're under load. This is $450 off. Usually almost a $2,000 laptop, on sale right now, $1499.99. I can go pick one up in 1 hour in Northgate. But again, really, really good deal. I love this because the form factor works both well for somebody who's going to use this for businesses. It's still a light laptop, but it also at the same time, you can still game with it very healthily with a 4070 and a Core i9 13th gen Core i9 processor. Thoughts, Alex?
No, I think that's a great steal. I mean, and you have like a broad, you have like a large selection right there, for whatever you need. But that ROG is definitely something that caught my eye. There's some other ones in there that I thought was some interesting. Like for example, I think that HP above that for $550. It's a pretty interesting configuration for the
right here, yeah, with the 3050, yeah.
Exactly, with the 3050 and all that stuff. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. That's a really good deal for that price. So there's a lot of stuff that in there that you can go and scoop for a good
and it's funny. You might look at that and you might be like, Robey, Alex, it's only got 8 gigs of RAM and it's only got a 512 gig SSD. I will say HP, Lenovo, and then specifically Asus are actually very easy. A lot of these you can go and get, go to 32 gigs SODIMM for like an extra 40 bucks. buy a 1 terabyte NVMe drive for $40. So, and instead of for $649, and you will literally, in some regards, almost double the performance of the laptop here. So even when you're looking at something, sometimes you can think of these laptops just like you can think of them as DIY desktops as an opportunity to upgrade to make something just that much better. So good laptop there and stuff to look at. Just because you see the specs here specifically around RAM and storage, a lot of these are very upgradable all up.
Yeah, specifically storage. Storage is very, very easy to upgrade.
So the ones that we're looking at specifically are ones that have actually have discrete GPUs in here. So here's one right here. This is an HP Omen with this is with a Core i7, 16 gigs of RAM, an RTX 4050 in 1 terabyte in Shadow Black for less than $1,000. Honestly, again, great power horse combination. It's impressive what you can do with a 4050, especially at 1080p. And then again, you can upgrade both the RAM to go to 32 gigs, and you could also upgrade the NVMe if you wanted to add, go to 2 terabytes. A lot of these have dual NVMe slots, especially when you're looking at more modern 13th gen laptops, etc. There's another one, Acer Predator, it's $800. I mean, yeah, there's some really, really good options here if you're looking to get into gaming laptops on the cheap that can do both gaming and also do productivity as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just looking over here with videos about the ThinkPad. I'm like, ThinkPads are like tanks, man. Those things are sturdy and could go the distance. That's why a lot of companies like them and use them to deploy them as their day-to-day for everybody else in the workforce.
I will say this, guys. I'm going to add this to Alex because here's the thing. Like, you may not like the ThinkPad, but I will say the Lenovo, the Slim that we showed last week, that is like engineering excellence. It's, you know, you don't have the weird nub or any of the stuff for the ThinkPad. It has a discrete GPU. It is not loud when you're doing gaming. So if you're looking for something that give you that you still get all of the awesomeness that comes with Lenovo, so the engineering behind the ThinkPad and stuff, but you don't necessarily want some of the things that are very business oriented like that. Look at the 7i Slim. That thing is fantastic, and it's on really, really good sale right now. It's like $1,400 as well. So what we showed, I kid you not, our writer wanted to take that home. He was like, "Can I just keep this?" I was like, "No, dude. We need this for something." But the point being is he loved that laptop. So we actually checked his bag when he was leaving to get back on the plane. I was like, "Yeah, I just want to make sure you didn't take it." And he didn't.
that happens every time when Robey finishes building a system. He's like, "Hey, I need to stress test this thing."
Yeah, somebody's like, "Hey, can I go through there and check?" Laptops, I will say a couple things I will add this, and we have some videos on this. If you're looking at business-oriented laptops or you want to take some guesswork out of it, one thing that is really nice, look for that Intel Evo badge. We did a whole video on it. But just make sure you have things like there's screen requirements, network requirements, battery requirements, how quickly it turns on. There's a bunch of stuff. So if you want to find something that you just know that you're going to get, it's also not only just checked by the organization that makes it, but also by Intel specifically, and it's gone through their certification. Intel Evo is a great badge to look for that's going to help you have some peace of mind when it comes to purchasing laptops. So anything else you want to add on laptops there, Mr. Alex?
No, sir. I think you got them all. Just keep your eyes out. There's some even cooler laptops coming around the corner, so keep an eye out for Robey and I and other stuff that is coming up. So.
Wonder what that could be about. Intel Evo is not a Microsoft thing. I don't understand That's an Intel Evo it's a hardware. It's mostly a hardware partnership thing, and it's driven by Intel. So
yeah, it's driven by Intel. So it's a hardware list of requirements and specifications that different partners have to meet in order for the customers, for you guys, for the users to have at the end of the day, a great experience. And it's kind of like if you go and look at that badge, you know you're going to get a really kind of the top of the line experience for everything, and only from like power on to response to everything, to noise to
Go watch the video. So just look for Robeytech Intel Evo. I did a fantastic video on it that Intel sponsored. Believe it or not, when you dig into what Intel Evo really does, I think a lot of people just think it's a badge, but the amount of stuff that it has to do to have that badge is actually pretty huge. So definitely worth checking out, and it does create peace of mind in what you're purchasing there in terms of that sort of thing. Okay, so we're gonna run through some quick other deals that we show over on Best Buy, and then we're gonna get right to gaming. Are you getting your 4X head on there, Alex? Are you getting prepared?
I'm getting prepared. I could go get prepared right now for the game if you want.
Yeah, why don't you go get prepared for the game? I'm gonna run through these last minute deals, and then we're gonna play some Civ 6 and go from there. So there we go. We're gonna jump over to the news and just go through these last few. Okay, so headset-wise, we found this actually a really great deal, and huge shout out to Tom for picking these out. SteelSeries Arctic 9 wireless gaming headset for PC, PS5, and PlayStation 4 on sale $99.99. That's $100 off. I actually have the Dota 2 versions of these that they played with Worlds. Great sound, and then the other thing too is I like the form factor. One thing just to think about is the one thing that you can see that they have the perforation there for keeping your ears from sweating, which is actually pretty crazy. But like these, they're really good headsets, and like I said, for $100 off, that makes them even better. I mean, who doesn't like cheaper hardware? We do want to go ahead and talk about consoles. There are some deals on consoles going on right now as well. So it's specifically around the PlayStation 5. So we do have here the PlayStation 5 console with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, which the game download is included. It's Black Friday deal right now for $499.99. If you were one of the people who picked up your PlayStation Portal, and you're looking for a console to add with it, which would be weird, but hey, there's an option there and on sale. And but yeah, there it is right there. So if you want to check that out. Continuing on the deals here, we also have the other one. I'm just gonna run through these. They also have the Spider-Man version. So if you want to get Call of Duty or Spider-Man, both options for $499.99. Also the DualSense controller, which does work on PC. And I know a lot of people like the form factor from this. On sale, $49.99, down from $75. Desktop, we found this. This is actually a really for $779. This is the MSI Codex R gaming desktop. It's got an Intel Core i5-12400F, which is a workhorse CPU. It's got 16 gigs of memory. Also includes an RTX 4060 1TB SSD. That is a 4060 12400 is a beastly combination for especially sub $1,000. This is $220 off. So if you're looking for a great entry-level gaming laptop, this can do Cyberpunk no problem. You can play most modern games, and especially at competitive titles, you're going to see some really good performance in Apex, Valorant, Call of Duty, all those other ones. And with 1 terabyte, I mean, you still have room to be able to install games and not feel like you're compressing it. So we really were impressed with this combination of hardware. And then let's see the last one, this is one of Robeytech's favorite things, the LG 48-inch Class A2 OLED. This is their 4K. These do now have burn-in protection, $549.99. So this is down from $1,250. This is actually my main monitor for gaming. Actually, I use the C2, sorry. But point being is that fantastic, 120 hertz. I think this one does 120 hertz. Yeah. This should do 120 hertz. I might need to verify that, but again, I love these televisions as gaming monitors, and playing with OLED will literally make your eyes melt in a happy way. So some really good deals there. Again, we've dropped those deals if you guys want to check them out, and we have them down in the description below as if you guys want to go and see them. So pretty cool. Alex, how are we doing? You feeling like he's still getting ready? Let's go and jump over to gaming and then go from there. Did you go out and buy or order any of those right away, Sarah?
I haven't yet. I'm hanging tight. I know there's some new deals coming. We'll drop those links into Discord so everybody can kind of take a look. But I feel like everything's starting to heat up, so I'll be keeping a close eye.
Yeah. Do you have a shopping list, a particular item you're looking for Christmas for Alex to buy for you, or I mean, like just in general?
Hey, Robey.
I'm still exploring more handhelds. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Uh-oh, Alex, are we ready? Mm-hmm. What's the matter?
Can I bother you for the full screen for my deep
Oh, yes,
thoughts?
of course I can. Of course you can.
Oh, that's right.
Let me bring it up here. Hold on one sec. Let me verify that it's good. Okay, Alex, we're ready for the reveal, sir.
2 seconds.
Why? He was like, you weren't supposed to be ready that fast.
Give folks a minute now that. Yeah, give folks just a minute now that that's in full screen.
I mean, those are deep thoughts right there.
Yeah, those are deep thoughts, right? Like I think the anticipation is starting to get to people already.
Oh, people are saying they really hope you're in a chicken suit. I don't think that happened.
That would have been a little fast to train. You guys are feeling. You guys
I am
really
fast,
impressed.
but I'm not that fast.
Yeah,
I am Toretto fast. I am fast and
I am
furious.
Toretto fast. I can't believe you just said that.
Just leave my life 1 mile at a time.
It's a quarter mile.
Sorry, quarter mile. Trying to go a little faster.
You were, yeah, you were. Don't make it longer. You're like looking too far ahead.
I'm giving up with the headset.
Oh, is it just too hard?
Yeah. Hear ye. Alexandros Maximus Commodus III, your ruler.
Wow, you look great, Alex. You look so good.
That's not a. Yes, it's not a chicken.
No,
it's not a chicken.
He's not a chicken. He is not a chicken at all. So.
But I grew hair.
I mean, you look really good.
You keep leveling up the cosplay.
I mean, I was not expecting. Yeah, this is like next level. I mean, you know what? Here's the deal, Sarah. Next thing we're gonna know, he's actually gonna be like, he's gonna have made the costume himself. And then we'll be like, I don't even know what to do with that. You know what I mean? Like, he's just like, he gets so good, he just starts making it himself.
There we go.
I feel like he is on the cusp of like wanting to be a part of like creator challenge, like cosplay combos. Like, I think it's right there.
Oh.
I'm gonna be in a special invitee next time for creator challenge as the model for cosplay.
Oh, maybe. That would be interesting. Anyway, you look really good, I gotta say.
Thank you. It took the longest thing to do is grow this hair, but yeah, I got it.
So what was the headset you were trying to get? Oh, was it just your headphones?
My earphones with the wig. Yes, I'm sorry, it's a wig. It was a little challenge.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you got it. I'm glad you got it solved. Okay, so we're gonna turn the sound down a little bit, guys. Let me know if the volume's okay for gameplay volume. We just want to make sure that I know there's music playing, so let me know if it's too loud or whatever it was. We're always trying to make it better. Now, welcome, guys, to Civilization 6.
Woohoo!
We are. Oops, I gotta switch to the other camera. There we go. Alex, I like how you're doing your poses. Welcome to Civilization 6. Now, if you have not played Civilization 6, it is not like many other games. So Civilization 6 is considered a 4X title. Civilization kind of birthed this particular type of game. And it is definitely like one of those games that will, I don't know how else to describe it other than you will lose your life to. Now, this game has been out for a while. You know, we've already seen rumors, etc., of people talking about Civ 7, and I think they have confirmed that it's actually in development at this point in time. But we are going to be checking out a new thing with Civilization, which is called the Challenge of the Month. You can actually see it right there on the front. It's the Challenge of the Month. It's the Age of Abundance. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play now. Now, here's the deal with these challenges. Everybody who plays them, we all get the same thing. Yes.
From the barrel of muskets to flowers of fire in the sky.
They're saying that
Even
the
the quiet words and newly printed pages hold great changes within.
Ears are bleeding.
The world, once so vast and mysterious, has grown smaller,
Is that better,
more
guys?
familiar. Yet, there are always questions to be answered, faiths to be tested, and national identities to be formed.
Are you...
I literally
That's the wrong button.
There
you
we
had
go.
one job.
I've turned it way down now.
So
you know what? There's something about this game. It's like it's much better. Okay, everybody's saying much better. Sorry about that. Yes, and it is Sean, which you know, for those people like who is of legendary status with who it's
Wow.
I love his voice.
So
Okay.
I guess we should ask the chat how many people have played Civilization before.
Yes.
Because I mean, this is a very popular game, and it's one of my favorites, like top 5.
Yeah, who actually has played Civilization before? That's a great question, Alex. Has anybody actually played it before? And then remember, guys, we actually have Mike from 2K who's here in the chat. So if you have questions about this or anything like that, you can absolutely ask him, and he can give you guys some guidance as well.
All right. So
Some people saying they played like Civ 4.
and DOS, the poets.
I played a crap ton of Civ 2. A crap
me too.
ton. And then the other one that I've actually played a lot of as well was Civilization Revolution, right? Which is actually pretty crazy in terms
Which one
of,
was the one that had like you can build space stations and cities under the water? Because I played that one like no tomorrow.
Oh, I do not know. I actually don't know which one that doesn't. I know that you.
That doesn't ring a bell.
I remember when in Civ 2 where we were building like when you do the project and you would.
Yes, the Alpha Centauri. Yeah.
Yeah, for Alpha, and then build all of the little components and stuff like that, and watch your ship in space. Yeah.
Yeah, take off. That's the one. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Which is actually pretty cool. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and choose my Civic. Oh, so I'm gonna go ahead and choose.
All right. So what's going on here is Robey is giving 2 CDs, money, and a couple of resources, and his land is bountiful. And in order to get the badge or to win this, is he has to win in culture, right?
Yep.
Culture-wise.
And that's the most important thing is, so up here in the top left-hand corner, you can see up here, you can actually see it has science, culture, this is faith, and then this is your money. And essentially what you want to do is you essentially can win in either one of these. You can have a scientific victory, which is usually you getting to colonizing Alpha Centauri. You can have a diplomatic, one where you basically just are the most powerful. The other one that's actually pretty crazy is you can do one that's actually religious victory, right? Which is actually where you can basically everybody comes under the same kind of flag. And then the last one is, of course, war, where you just conquer everybody and throw nukes everywhere and destroy the planet and all that sort of stuff as well. So there's actually a number of different winning victories. The other thing too is that they have the Civipedia.
Yes, Civopedia. Is that right? I don't know. Yeah, anyways, there's a lot of information. And you have that helper right there that if you need any questions or have any questions, you can click on, I think, the red button, and more than happy will give you
and
all the information.
Mike was basically saying, he's like, what's your go-to civilization? Mine has always been, for some reason, I always like Teddy Roosevelt, but you know, something as I've been diving back in over the past little while, it's been interesting to see how many people, like what everybody's thoughts on favorite civilizations. I saw from a cultural victory standpoint, one of the very popular ones is the Russians, specifically, because there's just a lot of things about Russia and stuff like that. But I don't know if people have a favorite. And then we now have a new emote. People are just so excited about the new emote. Okay, so I'm going to go to, I'm just going to put new to civilization anyway. And so now I'm just getting boosted because the other thing too is about this is you are starting further along in the game than what you typically would. You're not starting with with no cities and a single settler and a warrior and worker. You're starting further along in the game with this particular scenario.
You know, so since I haven't played SimCity in a long time, I came in here and I've played the same scenario like 3 times. The first one, I was still learning a lot of new things. Like you have envoys that you will eventually get to, envoys, and how to workers. I didn't know how to use the workers and all this stuff. So it was a lot of things to learn, but I learned them quickly, which was a lot of fun. It just kept me completely engaged. It was great. Then I realized that, like I said earlier, that I was not playing to win for culture, because that's how I never play. I always play for world domination,
Right.
as you know me. But yeah, so then when I started, like, oh, let me start again, but like go for culture. So that completely changed my whole strategy. So it was pretty interesting to see and to see what to do. But still, I don't even know how to. I mean, I still build a couple of cities, like when build some settlers. Definitely put a lot of workers so I can explode all the. You'll see all the resources around it, because you have cows, you have mines, you have plantations. Like, there's a lot of bananas in there, and at least at the beginning, and some iron. So I was trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and so the other thing too is, like, some people say it looks a lot like Civ 5, but Civ 5, the difference between Civ 5 and Civ 6, and of course I'll let Mike just kind of chime in for this stuff as well. But Civ 6, what you do is you start having districts that are available via squares. So in a lot of Civ 5, it was all kind of districts you would build inside of your city, but that kind of has changed and been taken away here. So I'm just getting everything ready for my government and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do towards, I'm actually going to do autocracy, because a lot of the things that I like to go for is, yeah, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but I like to go for bonus wonder production. Between these two is really good. So I'm going to go with this though.
I mean, the governments have been there for a while, but like the policies for the governments for me was something new, and I was like, oh, and that also changed completely the strategy, right? For me, going to being a warmonger and let me take over the world, I'm a brain and pinky, to like, oh wait, I now need to go and figure out what am I going to get the most culture points, or how do these policies help me achieve culture faster, or buildings to improve culture. So it completely, yeah, it's pretty cool. So those challenges are pretty neat, because definitely redefine how do you approach the game. Kind of gets you out of your comfort zone of like, I'm used to taking over the world, or diplomatic victory, or stuff like that. So now culture is different. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, and it's always one of these things that I'm always looking for. Like, it's like because there is a new way to win, you're trying to build almost a holistic strategy to do this, right? So it's like, I'm trying to remember on what I did. I think I did this. And then you have these mixture ones. But I like to try and get great writers, and then I also like to try and get great artists, because they help.
Yes. Yeah, so that's one of the things that went from getting generals and admirals to writers and painters to help on the culture side. And then I went from like, maybe I should take over this city state, to like, maybe they're just friends, and I encourage their tourism into my country. So yeah, so what now Robey's doing is trying to establish a trading route between Argos and Athens, and I think for this route, Argos is going to be able to get one food and one production.
Yeah, I'm basically
from Athens.
Exactly, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these workers to go ahead and determine. I'm going to go ahead and start modifying and getting my stuff built up. Now the thing is, for productions for Athens, I'm going to go ahead and start with the fun stuff, which is just getting Acropolis. Now the thing is, you can see here, I can actually purchase tiles around, and so given as much gold as I am, I'm looking for things that are going to be like less expensive, and I'm not going to really be sacrificing things. So I'm going to do this and go ahead and build my Acropolis. Now for Argos, it's actually going to be a little bit different, because I care about housing and getting my stuff kind of prepared. But I think I'm just going to do this. I think I want.
One of the issues are not the issues. Well, I mean, one of the problems that the game gives you is like I start to run out of amenities in Argos. So I was like, ooh, what do I do? How do I do that? And one of the things that Robey just did, which is purchase a tile, it helps you because, as you can see, he's selecting between, you have different districts. So you have like the learning district, which forgive me for not knowing it yet, but like you have built all the universities there. And then you have the artistic district, is where you build all the amphitheater, theaters, Broadway, like Robey was talking about earlier. But you have to be careful, right? Because where you place it, you're taking away all those precious resources from that tile. So that's why Robey, you see Robey purchasing tiles outside of the city in order to establish those. And also, depending, for example, the universities or education district, if you place it next to a mountain, it will give you like a boost of providing you more scientists or science output.
There's a lot to kind of learn here as you kind of start working on stuff, guys. There's just a lot to kind of get to figure out. So we're gonna build a farm here. This is gonna help me. And then the other two is I definitely want to do some more of that stuff. One of the things I like to rush to is like basically to urbanization, so you can urbanization, so you can start building housing districts, which actually helps with some of that, and then of course amenities as well. So, okay, so I've got that going. I'm actually in the turn spot. I will tell you guys, the next turn thing, you'll be like, you start getting excited about the stuff that you are going to have built.
Of course, there are other leaders vying for their attention too. The more specialized districts we construct, the more we will draw in specialized great people to share their talents with our.
And then the other reason I'm building the,
I advise that we continue to build these.
basically these, other reason I'm building out what I am building is because if I make great writers, great artists, I can produce great works, and you need specific districts to be able to do that.
One time we should play or something like that. Let the chat pick. It's like, all right, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, the only concern I have about that is it'll be like, oh Lord, you know what I mean? Like the game is already the game. It is one of those things that it's hard to stream, right? But
yes,
like especially when you get further on, you'll start seeing a lot more happen. I will tell you, I am definitely not an expert at this game, but it is definitely a game I've spent a lot of time in. I'm one of those people who sets it to easy and then just goes for world domination. But the more I've started watching YouTube videos on this, though, dude, it is crazy the amount of real depth that exists in terms of intertwining and all that sort of stuff. Mike, how much do you play? Do you play a ton? I think it was just I'll talk to Sean about that, and Merpo will get that fixed. I think it's just because here's the deal. I'll be honest, guys. Most people still call it Twitter, and they're not used to seeing the X symbol. And if we don't have both, they don't recognize both. It's not a confusion thing. I think it's literally people don't know that they're the same company still.
Yeah. So you have people calling it Twitter, you have people calling it X, or you have people calling it Twix. Yeah. So we're just trying to cover all our bases to make sure.
Our bases so people understand. Actually, I'm sorry. I realize why we did that is because people don't know they're the same. Okay, I'm still waiting through there. What's going on in your world right now?
Right. Okay. So in my world, I have 5 cities. So I do have Argos, Athens. I founded Sparta, Ephesus, and Knossos. Right now, I am in turn 239. As you can see on your map, you have Mogadishu up there, and I am good friends with Mogadishu. I have 4 emissaries over there, so that provides me with some goods and money. Currently, I am making sure that I have theaters and museums in my cities. I'm trying to expand a little bit on the settlements, and definitely a ton of worker construction going around. Try to make sure that the production of the cities are faster. Right now, I'm trying to figure out if I want to build one more city, and I'm trying to get some of my scouts and try to build a ship so I can go talk to other civilizations. I won't tell which other civilizations for those who haven't played yet because I won't spoil it, but I have started over this game 3 times. First time I was still learning some stuff, and my little one came over and rebooted the machine the second time. Anyways, yes, so it's good. It's a good thing, right? Because you can start from scratch, so you can correct and the mistakes you did before, and you have a better idea of what's going on. And everybody can do that. So it's a level playing field. It's not that, I'm going to restart and because I know how it's going to develop later on, I got a better advantage over everybody else. No, because you can start all over again. And maybe try one strategy one way and then try another strategy another way. See which one works better.
Yeah, it's
So-
all about. Yeah, it's all about. Okay, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna go to get our first other city here.
So let's see, where am I? For example, right now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to build on my Knossos city, which is northeast of where Robey is. Of that big mountain covered with snow is where my other city is, northeast of that. And its population is 2, and I have an option between building an Acropolis, which is 12 turns, or an encampment, or building some city walls. But so far, Mogadishu has been fairly benign. They're not very aggressive, and we don't have barbarians actually in this.
Yeah,
in
that
this
was the other thing
mode.
they added, is so you don't have anything where it's like ruining your plans, which can. I mean, barbarians can really ruin a day.
Yes.
Okay, so we got that. I think the other thing too is that you can do stuff with, holy sites as well, which can be super important. So these, like I like to add these, and like I said, faith next to a mountain, because you can do a lot of stuff with faith. So keeping, it's like faith, it's like science, it's like trying to keep it balanced, but at the same time keeping your culture, your culture getting high.
We have discovered a city-state. Establishing diplomatic relations with them will surely be beneficial for our empire.
Yeah, it's all about them cultures. I'm trying to figure out if I want to build an Acropolis or if I want to build a builder or buy a builder, right? Because that's the other thing. Because Robey, you have a lot of money, and that helps speed up. You know, you can buy a builder, you can buy stuff. You know, because I feel like also it's about time or turns. So that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get to, like, I'm gonna go ahead and just get so now now I basically have all of the benefits of Mogadishu, but I need to find the one thing that I'm using to scout for is to find other city states as fast as possible.
Yeah, so I won't tell you. I don't want to spoil it because I have a pretty good idea of where the other states, cities.
Yeah, because I do remember there's one specifically. So I'm going to do a builder first. I always do a builder just to do the tiles. But I do remember there was one specifically that was like, they're all mostly on the other continent, which was kind of rough.
Yeah, yeah, it is a little rough. But I mean, it's part of the game, so it makes it interesting. So right now I'm trying to build a boat. I'm on a boat, yeah. So I can go to the other continent and establish contact with these city-states, which city-states are, that's what it is. It's a city that is it's a country in its own, and they have their own government, and it's for what I've learned so far, it's pretty easy to interact with them and to establish relationships and trade and other different things.
Hey, Mike, have you actually had a chance to do the monthly challenge yet? How long did it take you? And then what are some other tips for playing this? Like what are some other tips that would help? I'd love to get some insight from him on that. And is this making anybody else want to play more Civ? Because that's the thing, is like, this is the thing about Civ, as I'm looking at this and then I realize I haven't said anything for the last 3 minutes because
yeah, that's what it's happening. Because you're thinking, you're like, what am I gonna do?
What am I
and
gonna
then you
do?
you have to connect your brain to your mouth so people can understand directly what you think. He's like, what if I do this?
I like how he
What
says you
about
have to connect your brain to your mouth. Do you have to? Like, is that really necessary?
Let me tell you, I have to disconnect it. Because there needs to be some filtering, as Sarah has noticed sometimes.
Okay, let's see if we can get over to this.
I think Mike was dropping some knowledge earlier about theater districts.
The which one districts?
Oh, what did he say? I missed
Theater
it.
districts?
I missed it. What did he say?
What did he say?
Theater districts.
Yeah,
Theater?
but what about him? I've got theater districts. I've been building them.
Oh yeah, that's what I've been building.
Oh,
Sarah's like, oh.
It's like that's everything I got. That's all that I got right now.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
All I've been building is theater. My whole civilization is nothing but theaters. It's completely
We're
built on
thespians. We're a
theaters.
bunch
Just
of
theater.
thespians.
Just theaters. Non-stop theaters.
Enacting new policies.
You see, it's very different to spending your money in building theaters than to building an army. So that's what I was completely off the first time I was playing.
Keep your allies close. Times have changed, and the
How
era
much
of
does it cost to build a ship?
I'm now in the Renaissance era.
In diplomacy, there
That
are
was
two kinds of
quick.
problems, small ones and large
Why
ones.
remain
The small ones will go away by themselves, and the large ones,
400?
they will
Ooh,
go
you're
used.
pricey. Okay, never mind. Let's just click the next turn.
Yeah, it's funny on my other game I have like $5,000. I'm making so much money, but like this one, like I've restarted and like I feel like I was actually off to a really good start with the last one. I'm just getting a lot of settlers and getting.
Oh, look at that, Robey. So Mike says, envoys. Pericle's unique ability is a culture bonus for each city states he's leader of. Those will help a ton. So hint, hint, the more envoys you have in those city states, you'll be the leader of that, and then that will help you with culture and influence.
Okay. Well, I've been working on that already. I got Mogadishu already. I'm literally searching for other city states right now.
Yeah, I need to
I'm in city state
make a
searching
boat.
mode.
Did you create a boat? I need a boat.
I got boats.
population grows.
I'm on a
Here you go.
boat and it's going fast and.
Not all who wander.
And I'm gonna take you and T-Pain.
And yeah.
You're welcome for the earwig, people. Where was I doing? Clicking next. You see, Argus keeps telling me amenities. I am negative on amenities in Argus. Need to figure something out. But right now, I'm too busy building
Mike,
an
what
art
are
museum.
amenities? Like for folks who don't know, what are amenities? Like if we need amenities, is it just mean we need more portable bathrooms? Like what's an amenity? Like what are the things? How do we get those solved? Narf. I don't know if that helps me, but.
Hey, Pinky. What are we gonna do today?
Okay, we're gonna build our Acropolis here.
Oh, city-state quest complete. You completed a quest for the Mogadishu city-state and earn a reward. Okay, so every time you meet a city-state, they give you like a task or a quest. It's like, go build this, go do this, go do that. And if you do that, you get one more envoy or diplomat in their city, which influences there. And as we know, as Mike just told us, that makes us closer to being the lead influencer, the lead country influencer on that city-state, which provides us more culture on that. So that's a good thing. What was I doing?
That's always the question.
Especially when I'm working. Acropolis. Okay. University. Fine. I'll build an Acropolis.
Mike's typing. We're abusing Mike while he's here. Oh, we got our first guy.
What am I researching? I want boats. I need boats.
You're on a boat. Okay, so we found this place. But I know,
Nice
like,
trick.
I think Amsterdam's over here. And...
Yeah, Amsterdam. Oh, so you do know. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Amsterdam
I
is.
got a number of the places that I found in the other.
Wait, how'd you get there? With a scout, or what do
Yeah,
you?
you just
what
sent
you
a
build?
scout over there.
Well, my scout didn't get there. Silly scout.
You
Where's
better
my
learn how to
scout?
better learn how to play, yo.
That's what I'm sort of. Lead influencer. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Mogadishu.
Yeah. Amenities Keeper says too few amenities and the citizens revolt against you. Thank you very much, Brenneman. I gotta get some. I gotta get people not to be unhappy with me. That's what he's saying. I can clear
Do I
cut
want
this.
production, food, or money and culture? The trade routes. I'm talking about the trade routes selection.
No, I don't want to declare war. I need to get around to find this stuff.
And
Okay,
I don't
these
want to
guys, I
miss
need
a
a
thing.
builder.
Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna make me I'm gonna buy me a scout. I'm gonna buy me a scout because that's be faster than get my scout across the continent and get it there. Amenities are basically sources of happiness for your citizens. The
I
happier
need
they
more
are,
happiness. My
the more
citizens need
stuff
more
they'll get
happiness.
done for you. Things like wonders, entertainment, certain luxury resources all contribute as amenities. Keep the people happy. Bread and circus. Food
I'm
and
working
circus.
on it. I'm working on keeping the people happy. Let's throw an entertainment complex in here.
Ooh, your knowledge of scientific theory has advanced. Eureka!
You're so smart.
Mass production has been unveiled.
You must not lose faith in humanity.
Choose a research.
Humanity
I need boats. Square rigging. Square rigging.
Okay, so now I can make great artists.
Or I can do printing and build the forbidden city and get fire. It's forbidden.
You're forbidden.
Gunpowder. That definitely helps with culture.
Does it?
No.
I feel like you're going back into your old things. I just must conquer them all. To war. Exactly, Riddick.
I'm a one-track mind, man. I'll show you culture.
Yeah, I'll show you. Yeah, exactly.
Where is this? Okay, let's go print some stuff. And I also get to choose. Ooh, mercantilism. Well, interesting to see. So I get to choose between mercantilism, Reformed Church, nationalism, and opera and ballet. Well, since this is a culture thing.
Oh no, go back.
How many turns
no,
is that?
no,
Ooh, 7 turns. Oh, I'm definitely going for that. Boom, boom, shakalaka. Can't help but the best culture if you are the only. Very true, very true. If you're the only culture, you already win. I wonder if that's one way to winning. I might have to try that. It's like I am the only culture.
I'm saving my envoys because I don't want to. When we get to the next one.
I get to build an amphitheater.
Yeah.
What is this? Hephaestus. Hephaestus. Sure. Build an amphitheater. Do I need what much money? Do I want 2 more workers? More builder. Sure. Let's do builder and then we'll do an amphitheater.
Okay, I'm currently building. Yeah, I always start with builders just to make things better while I can, and then I had to build, trying to get some housing and stuff going. Argus is going to need some. They need some amenities here pretty quick, but they got one more. They got one more. Okay, here we go.
Wow, Sparta's pretty bad. This is Sparta.
Why are you hurting Sparta, dude?
No, I mean everything takes like so many, like 32 turns, 27 turns. So that means they need some workers in there. So I might buy them a worker because I have some money to speed things up. So I'm gonna, yeah, this is Sparta. But what do I need to do?
Okay, we need
an entertainment
amenities.
Complex.
Okay, luckily I have a lot
let's
of
get a
places
harbor.
now.
A harbor here. Yes. And wait. Let's go back. Go back to Sparta. Vini. I came, I saw, I conquer.
That's all you can do.
Vici. Yeah. I was trying to say it in Latin, but
Vidi, Vinci, 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 Vinci.
yeah, Da Vinci, something like that. Oh wow, these builders are expensive. 235 gold.
Yeah, you can end up spending a lot of money.
Wow. Leonidas cosplay when? Ah, dude, that means I need to go get it. Increase my
Got another
workout
guy.
routine. Yeah, to increase my workout routine, change my eating habits, because that 12 pack is gonna take a while to show up. Yes, it is the same hair as before. You know, there's only so much budget, so I'm reusing
every episode.
No, it's not gonna be every episode. I thought having the wig with this will be
This
more.
guy's already mad at me. What did I do?
Yeah, hair
Oh,
budget's
because
running
we have
out.
different governments. Now all of a sudden this guy's mad. You know what? You need to get off yourself, buddy.
Not only the hair budget, but the hair.
I'm just taking care of my people. Taking care of business. Okay, open borders.
Oh, look, you already met the Russians.
Yeah, I'm like over there trying to find the other city-states.
Yeah, Amsterdam is a really good one. Ooh, send envoy to who? You have enough envoys, dude. You already have 5. What is this?
Let's get some housing. Let's get some farms going over here. Found Rio de Janeiro.
Right. Yeah. Você fala português? Muito legal.
Oh, that's
Whoa, Robey getting. Cause it's real. Watch me win.
okay. I have that. Let's get.
Yeah, the shampoo is dude, air conditioners. Those things are expensive. Because I heard that you need shampoo, air conditioner, and what else? I don't know. A little help from the chat and Sarah maybe, because my hair care has been gone for a couple of years. So.
Oh, you're learning about it.
Well, I'm learning, but definitely, I always knew about shampoo and conditioner, not conditioning too, but that's different. Rumor has it Arabia has found a new religion, Islam. Man, that was quick.
That's what they do. They're always quick.
Yeah. Thank you, Blondie. Yeah, help me out with the products, with the hair products. Because I definitely, I'm not succeeding in that department.
Where did I find a tribal village? Oh, there it is.
There's a troubled village.
Yeah, which I mean, it's like I could build a scout for. But now I need to find these states, these city-states.
Actually, yes. So for my bald head, I do have to moisturize. I do have to use a lot of hats. I used to have to use sunscreen.
We're learning a lot about Alex today.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. I think it's just funny. That's all.
Yeah, I need sunscreen.
New opinions are always suspected and usually opposed, without any other reason.
Oh, so depending. Oh, I guess this makes sense. Cholesterol, scalp treatments, and plenty of more. Man, we're getting a full class while we conquer the world. Sorry, while we influence the world. We're not conquering today. We're conquering, but passively through culture. Athens, choose production. What do I need? We can build entertainment complex and industrial zone.
Okay, so there you go.
Man, lessons for being bald. Moisturize, sunscreen. Those are the first major 2 things. A holy site. Why not? Ooh. Holy site. Holy site. Where do we put the holy site? Here. Yes, let's put it there. Well, definitely for the budget for the cosplay is there's I mean, it's getting there. I do have to shop a little bit around, but this one was actually pretty good. It's funny because I was looking at the sizes, and I order a medium, and it's pretty big. So I don't know what. It's a little different. Maybe I should have gone with a small, but it's pretty cool. Do I get cosplay budget for the next fiscal year? It is in the conversations ongoing, but hey, man, I created Actually, we created this monster, so we're gonna need some budget to keep it going. Because the expectation is I always show up on cosplay the next Friday. So
PC guy, thank you very much for this, dude. I really appreciate that. Okay, I found. Oh, is this one? No, it's still. Where's all the cities? Where's all the city states? They're around here.
I'm a little afraid of the expectations of the cosplay. So, whew.
Don't be afraid. You'll be fine.
All right. Where was I doing? Next turn. Next turn.
I'm gonna put a. Where is he?
Pretty much. Did you already build that? Did you build more cities, Robey?
Yeah, I've been building cities.
I've been talking to you guys on mute for like 10 minutes.
Are you serious?
So,
we're just being rude
I was
and
trying to figure out
ignoring
how
you.
it became. I was trying to figure out how it became Alex's hair care hour.
I mean, we went from Intel chicken to hair care hour. So it's a very we cover all the subjects. We definitely cover all the subjects.
Guys, we got a great rider.
Curbs, thanks. Yeah. Problem is I got about 15 windows open, so I didn't know where I was muted.
That's
Where's
funny.
the mute? Where's the mute? Argos, industrial shipyard. Shipyard will come in handy.
Producing a great work.
Thus it is necessary to note, men must be either enticed.
Are you creating like a
Okay,
like
guys,
a wonder?
who do you think is going to get their badge?
What? What's going on with Sarah? What's happening?
Who's
She's
going
asking.
to get their badge first, Robey or Alex?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Mike, what do you think? Based on what you're seeing, am I doomed? Like, am I actually going to get something done here? We're going to send him over here and do another great work. I don't know, man. A lot of people are voting for Alex. Well, no, never mind.
It all depends on
Oh, dead heat.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Ow, my ear.
Give me another
It is
great
necessary
work.
for the one who founds a republic.
Got two great works.
Ooh.
I'll get it
I
because
think
of my
you got
custom.
a thumbs up that you're on the right track.
Yeah, we're trying to get great works and tourists. Like, it's all about just trying to get as much of. Oh no! I just destroyed my. What am I doing? Oh, you.
Uh-oh.
Well, that was one way to mess it up. People are saying Alex right now. Alex is looking like he's the crowd favorite. If I was dressed up, I'm guessing I'd probably get more votes.
Yeah, I think careful. Tread lightly. People were asking when was it going to be your turn.
I know. I need to do it. I need to commit. I should have done it this one. I actually looked at togas.
Yoshi? Yogas? Are we talking about the laptop or?
No, I was looking at
togas.
Yeah, I was like, oh, togas make sense.
I mean, it's Pericles, therefore, yeah. They're not letting you off the hook that easily. They're saying the challenge is there for next week.
Oh, there is no show next week, guys. Not that that makes it.
Off. Oh my goodness, guys! It is coming up to that time. I need 30 seconds because we have so much going on. So, if you guys liked all this gameplay that you saw, don't forget we're going to go ahead and drop a challenge for the next month. So until December 17th, if you guys show your badge, you're going to be entered to win a really cool swag kit, always custom built by me. So go ahead and finish the Civ 6 challenge, monthly challenge, and then go ahead and show your badge. We've got 14 Gen challenge that ends today. Make sure you solve as many things as you can. We've got the gaming bracket challenge that ends Monday. So Matt's going to go ahead and link everything in there. And then don't forget, we're off next week, but we will be back in force on December 1st.
Oh, wow. Is it that time?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's the thing. You guys have literally just seen what I'm talking about, right? Like, it's just like, it's like, you're like, oh, we had like 40 minutes. And then all of a sudden you're like, you're out of time. And you're like, how much time has gone by?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
This is the one, Robey, that I think you've been the most silent when playing. So it's been really interesting because, like, you can see you really get in it.
I love these games. I love these games. And now that people have voted against me, I am freaking getting it tonight. Somebody was like, "Yeah, don't tell me I'm gonna lose. That's how you get me to win. I'm gonna."
That's a good encouragement right there. It's a good strategy.
That's how I do it, right?
Challenge dropped, Alex.
Challenge, yeah. You guys sit there and vote against me.
Yeah.
Vote against me. Yeah, it's Robey's conscience.
I have a full Friday. I don't think I can squeeze more gaming tonight. We'll see. Maybe at midnight.
It's 15. Actually, it tied 15-15. But still, I'm going to show 15 of you you're wrong. Anyway, guys, that is it for this episode of the Intel Show. Unless you live in Hawaii, Intel Morning Show. We are gone next week. Next week, we are taking a break, letting people have their holidays with their families. Mostly Matt complained. The rest of us were like, we don't have a life, but Matt was like, you know what, I do. So can we not do it? I'm just kidding. No, Matt's awesome. We like to pick on Matt. But anyway, guys, we are back the week after, and then we start the drive to DreamHack Atlanta. What do we got coming up that week? Do you know off the top of your head, Sarah?
On the 1st?
Yeah.
We haven't locked in the gameplay yet, so
Oh, that's
it'll be a big surprise. We'll drop some hints. We'll drop some hints ahead of time, but yeah, we've been looking at maybe some fun, maybe something holiday, kind of get into the mood. So, but
well, there you go, guys.
It'll be something good.
If not, it'll be Civilization 6 because I love that game. Anyway, guys, huge shout out to Mike from Civ, Mike from the team over at Firaxis for joining us and having Civilization be such a big part of today's show. Definitely check it out. Join the challenge. It's available now for you guys to go see if you can beat myself and Alex getting your badge. Outside of that, guys, we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we will see you guys on the next episode. Bye, guys. Alex, you look fantastic, dude. I just got to say, you look so good. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Laters.